I think we're ready to go. Well, Zach is left.
Almost ready.
Almost ready.
All right.
We're almost there. Just as I know you've forgotten to both turn on the stream and forget to turn it off the last few times.
But...
How does this sound for everybody?
Good.
Can you hear both of us?
Yeah.
Cool.
This will work. Oh. And now they have frozen in place.
Yeah, now the other camera froze.
Yep.
You were distant, now you're nearer. I can feel your inside me.
Okay. They will return one day. Zach, I can't hear you. Yep.
I think you muted on purpose.
Oh, I see. Well. Alright. Just wanted to... That's the first time it's been intentional.
I'm sorry that our Wi-Fi is so unreliable.
Alright.
Check 1, 2.
Hello.
Okay, yep. We can hear you. And what
Check
is...
1, 2.
Okay, people are rolling checks over here. Okay.
Just making sure.
We'll check action.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Alright. So who now I guess Brett, go ahead and start it up. I think we're ready.
It's already started.
Okay, good. So who wants to summarize what happened last time?
I'll try.
Thank
All right.
you.
I usually start off good with taking notes, and then it slows down. So here we go. May 5th, 2020, a diary.
A diary, wow.
So started by leaving the dock, and it was supposed to be a 2 days walk along the shoreline. We see two figures out on the water. Cella yells to them in Druidic. They are three Eladrin mages in purple cloaks with the House Eladrin crest. The mages say that ships are sinking and people are dying. They've been sent out to investigate this. They were sent by Lord Lorsan Eladrin. They know of the Water Temple's general location, but they keep away from the temple because they just keep to themselves. They say even the fish have been acting suspicious and taken oddly shaped. I don't know what that means, but they've taken oddly shaped is what I wrote. Or taken odd shapes.
They've been odd. They are oddly shaped, or
Okay.
I guess you could even say deformed.
Cool. And so, anyway, I didn't write this down, but we pretty much bypassed the 2 days travel and to convince them to give us a portal straight to House Eladrin, which was really awesome. And Braundir tried to.
You could thank Brett for that, but
Yeah,
anyway.
that's excellent.
Yep.
It was good thinking. Braundir stayed behind, asked to make sure that there was nothing that he could give any more information on, but it was pretty much, look, we're just here to figure out what's going wrong, and we don't know much else. So, okay, so let me get there, and we were greeted by Talia, the younger-looking elf who helps maintain the grounds and audience chamber, the Lord's chamber, and is in love with Gerbo. And Braundir took great pride in knowing that he can make Gerbo uncomfortable by insinuating his love for Talia. So
yes, he needed that. He desperately needed that.
Oh yeah, and just like made his trip. So that was really awesome. And then who followed him around. So let's see. Then we were met by Luvan, the older male butler, and let's see, Lord Lorsan. He is sleep deprived and on edge. We find out that about him. And then Niana, I think, an older elf with gray hair, which was uncommon.
She was a librarian, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so Gerbo says
He's
he's
Emmaus's
back to
wife.
prove what he's been trying to prove all along, and he hopes that fixing the lake will gain him respect. So in the book, Brett gets a book, I think, or Ephelien gets a book. One of them gets the. About this time is when I start like getting hazy. So the book talks about merd people enticing fishermen. A temple at the bottom of the lake has been there as long as they can remember. Merd people seem to be similar to sirens. There is a cave entrance in the lake that surfaces in the temple. So we do know where the entrance is. The temple is a thin place that gave power of the element of water. The worshippers of water could calm storms and tame sea creatures. They are powerful druids, so it may be best to be diplomatic. Yuan Ti and Dragon Lord days. That was a note, and that's like I think whenever it was about gone to be made up. Like I think that's when they made it. With the Dragon Lords, Yuan Ti are snake humanoids. Yuan Ti ruled Nevera. Dragon Lords run Cantera. The Dagger of Worlds is what I wrote down.
So that was just to kind of fill you in a little more in there. So that's just a general idea of several thousand years of history back, essentially, is the Dragon Lords, and then you had the Yuan Ti Empire that ruled here in Novera. There's not much history that's known, but of the history that's known, there are some legends that stick out. And one of those legends is the one that Braundir looked up at Felix's behest.
Yeah.
That was
right.
Which is basically the Dagger of Worlds.
Braundir broke away.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the Dagger of Worlds could be a Fey item. You're not sure. It's in the legend. It speaks of the weapon seeming to have a mind of its own, and the power, and it has a strong power of it's able to open up. It can basically cut. It can cut into different worlds.
Yeah, it traded hands many times along history, capable of making a thin place, of cutting its way into other worlds. Last seen in the hand of Yuan Ti, many have tried to wield it, but the mind inside the dagger wouldn't allow it.
Right.
And then I think it brings us to Gareth speaking with Emmaus, and who is very old. It says you don't really know how old he is, but his hair is white. He's beginning to go bald, and so
not just that. Again, to interject with more detail.
Yeah,
he suffers from far more characteristic like human aging traits than elves ever would, and that's highly unusual.
Cool. Well, thanks for that. Yeah, I missed that. But he wasn't able to talk or wouldn't talk, and so Gerbo put on the helm of telepathy and spoke with him. And
I pretty much only spoke with him because Emmaus like crit failed.
That's right. So
I got like
20
something.
So like you looked at his surface level thoughts, and when you did that, there was just a weird kaleidoscopic effect of a bunch of colors that just seemed random. And when you probe deeper, he crit failed his wisdom save. So you basically penetrated his telepathy or his mental defenses.
Yeah.
And so we're able to actually speak with him,
which is impressive. And what the quote I have written down is, Gerbo told no one what I've done here. If they were aware, I would be killed. And then he went on to say that Pelora and Malcor are two sides of the same coin. Essentially, that was our trip.
Right. The other piece is that Cella went to the coach.
Yeah.
And she became a bass.
Oh, right. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yep, she became a bass, and then she talked to an eel.
Yeah.
And the eel, she basically used animal messenger on the eel, and the eel, kind of against its will, took her message back to the residents in the water temple.
Getting fishy.
I love it.
Now, I don't remember the exact wording of your message.
No, I don't either.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Nope.
Well,
We could always go back and watch the Twitch and figure out exactly what it said.
I guess that's true.
It would take too long.
But I think it would have been something to the effect of, like, had like that Valkyra received word that there were disturbances at the temples, and would you grant me? I know that she asked if she could be granted an audience
right.
at the temple.
That's right.
Like
That's
some
right.
reason for knowing about like strange disturbances and wanting to be granted an
Or
audience.
you were trying to do it peacefully.
Yeah, the thought was like maybe they would, since I'm a druid, like let me on the inside, get a look around before we all go invade and try to close a portal down there if there's a portal down there.
Nice.
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Okay. Okay. So, I think that catches us up. I can't remember anything else of note that happened other than Talia lurking in the background.
Yeah, pretty much extensively lurking, a constant state of lurking.
Right, right.
What does everybody know about Talia? That's the real question.
That's about it.
That's really about it.
Other than that, she has your unborn child. Or she, no, I
Wait,
guess
she has my unborn child? Does that mean that like I snuck back?
No, it would. That's a better phrase, but
did
really,
you
she just has your child, and she hasn't introduced you to him yet. I whispered to Drew last time to get him to do that, but he didn't do it. So
No. God,
That would be amazing.
that would be too much.
I would have been genuinely surprised.
So now,
yeah, I'm looking back and
I'm sorry, I just looked at chat.
I'm glad it's not me. I'm just glad it's not me.
I love.
How do I hack
love-
Roll20?
Yeah, I love the accidental chat. Like it's just I don't know for some.
Kill Jello.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just so funny to me. I don't know why.
Well, it's just boomer humor is what it is. It's
Yeah,
great.
pretty much. Boomer humor. Dope. Let's go DMing.
There were multiple books, a collection of old tales, chronicles of. I wrote Chronicles of Narnia. I don't think that was it, though.
Probably not Chronicles of Narnia. No. So basically, what happened is you accessed two different types of texts. One of them was more of a historical chronicle, and the other was more of the actual legends, oral traditions that have been passed down about different things.
Yes, I categorize that as Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah, sure, you can go with that.
Yeah. Origin for the lake, elemental power of water. Yeah.
And
power
another
of the land to be worshipped, call of storms, tame giant sea creatures, etc.
So another good point, or another character that you guys, you actually met Lauren's brother, Lothran.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on here.
Larson's brother.
Yeah,
Larson's brother's Volmer. Scholar
right, you met
Volmer.
You met Volmer, and that's
he's
how
very nerdy and is studying the Pool of Wishes.
That's right. He was actively studying.
Location unknown. Depends on the person. It's kind of like a room of requirement kind of situation. But if you are to use the Pool of Wishes, you must make a sacrifice. That's kind of lore that I know.
Yep. That's basically the gist of it. Yeah. You know that it has a guardian. You know that it has a guardian.
Right.
And you know the stuff you already said.
Right. So
that you must pay a price for the wish you wish to make.
Right. So but that's pretty much all.
So that's a game-breaking thing you guys could try and pursue.
Yeah. If somebody's willing to make a sacrifice.
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Exactly.
I already killed one of my characters. It's y'all's turn.
That's true. So okay, and I think we left. We went to my old room, and then that's
right.
where we left.
That's right. You guys were kind of tucking in for the day, and that's kind of when Cella, like, it was basically towards sunset.
Yeah.
When Cella went out and made her animal messenger, and now we're going to turn to. Well, actually, we're going to turn to Cella again, because you are going to be in a dream. Sort of. Okay. So you go back to the rooms. I would assume you would find, like, what was the arrangement? Were you all going to sleep in Gerbo's room?
Yeah.
Or...
There was like I had my room, and then they were sleeping like in like the entryway of the room.
Right. And Talia had already, since she's such a good stalker, she had already known what you wanted and got what you needed. But anyway,
makes me so funny.
So you were all in Gerbo's room then, and there's plenty of room because it's quite. It fits Gerbo's ego quite well.
Yes.
Anyway, so Cella, you go to sleep not long after you get back to the room, and you get back to your sleeping bag, and you awaken what looks to be inside the room with where Gearhead was.
Okay. In the cave underground, under the mountain. Correct.
You see.
Is it like robot Gearhead?
Yeah, robot Gearhead, except he's no longer in the chair. In fact, now what is sitting in the chair is a... This is going to be kind of hard to explain. He's almost like an older... He's like a cross between a goblin and a fae, if that makes any sense. I need to find proper art for him. But he has small spectacles that hang on his nose. That's cool. Large nose.
Do I know what sort of creature he is? Like where he's from?
You haven't really seen a creature like him, but you suspect he's a fae.
Sir Bertrand, I had wondered when we might meet face to face.
Yes, of course.
You've been rather quiet of late.
Yes, I needed some time to myself, away from the rather draining influences that Gearhead tried to hoist upon me.
I can certainly understand needing time away from those around you. And what is it that brings you back now?
You know, there's something that's just bugged me. Now, granted, since I have a limited perception of the world that goes on outside. As he's kind of talking, he's it looks like he's got the watch that you have in like the pocket watch, and he's kind of messing around with it in one of his hands. It's almost like a tick.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's kind of thinking aloud. I have a limited perception of the outside world, but one thing, something that stuck out to me is that something that's very, very strange to me, very, very exotic. You can't read. Is that right?
Cella kind of coughs and looks down and doesn't say anything.
I suppose I heard correctly then. You'll have to forgive me, I haven't spent a lot of time around individuals who are illiterate. It just struck me as fascinating.
That's interesting.
If the mundane is so fascinating to you, you must be very sheltered indeed.
You'll have to forgive me. I know many powerful fae and magical entities in my time. I suppose I have spent many years in a more academic position. You see, back in the day, Felix and I were somewhat of a team. He and I were very much uncovering ancient secrets. And my end of it was deciphering the texts that came along with it.
I see. And where were you doing this research?
Where is a hard question. And at this point, he kind of tosses up the pocket watch, and it just hangs in the air, free floating. And then he snaps his fingers, and suddenly the room changes and shifts into more of a library, or rather, think of it like the most cluttered professor's desk you could imagine. Professor's office. Books, papers piled high everywhere. He says, this place is very malleable, but it is connected to the place that Felix and I had traveled to.
So this is a place that doesn't really exist, where we are right now, you mean?
In a sense, yes. It is a mental landscape. If you are to spend time here, you can learn to manipulate it.
She looks around at all the books and kind of laughs. And if I were to, I'm not sure how helpful it might be to me.
Indeed. I do not know much of the outside world. But perhaps I could learn something from you.
And I assume there's much that I could learn from you. I think we could probably both be a bit more open in communicating.
Yes, indeed. I've been a little more, I guess the word for it is bored, quite frankly. There's only so much time you can spend to yourself. And trust me, that shadow, that ghost in a golem, didn't exactly make for great company.
Well, whatever learning you have, I respect, and I can't pretend to possess myself. But we druids have a different sort of learning, and if you would be open to it, you can come with me, and I can show you what I know of the world.
That would be advantageous, I think. Tell me, I think I can sense, in a vague way, a few other fae that are close by. Is that true?
Very perceptive. It seems so. Although I've just met them, it appears that Master Braundir and Master Gerbo had both, well, bonded to fae, captured within different artifacts before I met them. One is named Felix and lives in the sword that Braundir wields, and the other is Alexa and lives in, the very fabulous shoes that Master Gerbo from time to time will put on.
Yes. He kind of smirks and chuckles. Yes, that sounds quite like Alexa, if I were to say so. It sounds as if those might be my compatriots. Former compatriots, maybe. I'm not sure.
Is there any way for you all to talk to each other?
I cannot speak with them until I share this bonding with someone to facilitate it, you see. And I have to say, I'm somewhat surprised that Felix would bond with something, given, well, what's happened.
Go on.
Let's just say that Everqueen did not take too kindly to our efforts to try and, well, save our world. And the bonding practice was most certainly dangerous.
Dangerous? To who?
Well, to all involved. A true bonding has the power to shift memories and even physical aspects from one to the other. I don't think Felix has entirely revealed to you or your friends the nature of a bonding anyway.
Having some remote idea of the power of the Fae, I have to admit that I've been skeptical about these bonds myself from the start. It's interesting that you also acknowledge the potential harms.
Well, I've just been a little more disenchanted with the whole process. After what I've seen and encountered, I don't know if we really... I'm not sure if we really have a chance.
You've fought with these powers before?
We all did. It's part of why we bonded to begin with. We sought power to fight gods.
And you did not find it.
We found power, but it was not enough. Or perhaps we lacked something. And, well... He's starting to look, as he's talking about it, a pained expression's growing on his face. He says, I'd rather not talk about it at this moment.
Cella takes a couple steps closer to Bertrand, towards where he's sitting, and says, Bertrand, we don't have to establish any sort of bond anytime soon. It's something that, frankly, neither of us are very comfortable with. But I have to know, is there any way that we can seal these beings, Pelora and Malcor, out of this world before they establish more of a hold?
That I am not sure of. By the time we had acted, it was already too late.
I fear the same, but all that we can do is continue moving towards the gates, closing them one by one. It's the best that we know to do right now, but anything that you know would help prevent what happened in your world from happening to ours. Well,
the Fey realm is a different place. No two worlds are the same. You see, in our world, it was not so widespread, at least at first. It began, rather, with individuals.
Do you mean Pelora and Malcor's hold?
Yes. I'm trying to get my face out of the glare.
The glaring sun.
Yes. Yes. Our world was more chaotic. And as I said, it began for us and a few key individuals. By the time anyone had figured out anything of note, it was already too late.
I wonder if the same could be happening with the Druids here. If these various circles becoming radicalized, being moved towards Malcor's will, if that might be the start of the same story in a new place. I'd only hope that we can stop it.
Perhaps. But there is a certain... For now, at least, I would rather not dwell upon it too much. For now, I think exchanging the knowledge we have between each other might prove useful. And besides, I haven't had a student in quite some time. Yet, forgive me, there's a certain part of me that likes teaching.
Bertrand, how do I know I can trust you?
You don't. At least not at this juncture. I have not given you any reason to really trust what I've said, at least not yet. Holy shit. That's a lot of insight checks.
I only clicked one time. I don't know what happened.
I like how it's gotten progressively lower.
Yo, I really want that insight. I really want it.
Yeah. Okay. So what
Give
is
me
the
insight. I need to know.
Okay, so describe exactly what your insight what you're wanting to know.
Like as he's answering, when I said, like, how do I know I can trust you? I think she's looking at body language, if he's being genuine, if he seems like if any part of this conversation has seemed like he's trying to lead her astray to interesting him.
If you're just looking to see if he's lied or tried to deceive you.
Yeah.
So his body language has been rather oddly calm throughout most of this until you started talking more details about the destruction of his world and the bonding and all that with Felix and his party. So up in in this exact moment, answering that particular question, you think he's being truthful.
Okay.
In the sense that, he recognizes you don't really have a good reason to trust him yet.
Right. Okay. One last question, Master Bertrand. And I appreciate your being candid with me, but what would be the advantage of a bond if we can talk like this, if we can share information? What incentive would there be for us to take it to the next level?
It's at that point that there's cracks that begin to form within this office area. White light begins to shoot out of these cracks, and eventually they all explode away, until eventually you're just in a room with a white room with nothing in it. You're floating in nothingness, and he's beginning to lose details himself. As he begins to fade out, he says, well, these meetings could last a bit longer, for starters. And then he fades out. And now you're back in your normal dream state.
What are you dreaming about?
I know, I was about to roll to see
what your dreams are.
What are your dreams about now? Another inside check?
No, it's gonna be
I mean, I think it's more likely for Cella to have a nightmare.
You make an Arcana check?
No, Cella is the nightmare.
Cella is the nightmare.
I roll like
Arcana check.
It's a pretty middle of the road. I'm dreaming about doing really mundane things.
most
Sure.
chores.
Mm-hmm.
Cleaning
Yeah.
Gerbo's room.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking to her aunt, and she realizes she's naked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're like,
Tip.
all of her teeth are falling out.
Yeah, get the
she
classics.
did
Yeah.
Yeah.
The classics.
Anxiety.
That's right.
thing. Yeah.
So I think now we're going to shift towards everyone waking up,
Okay.
and what? So I guess is everyone going to wake up like? Well, okay. I'd be curious, who would be the most likely to wake up first?
Roll initiative.
Maybe Ephelien.
Probably Ephelien, I would say.
Yeah, in this kind of being back home, I think I would be back in my rhythms and probably not wake up first.
Right, I think Gerbo would sleep in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ephelien would be up first because she is the most on edge at all times.
Mm-hmm. She's alert.
Cella would be up. Unsettled by the dreams.
Sure. It'd be kind of weird. So, Ephelien, you're up first, and you hear a light knock on the door to Gerbo's room. Do you answer it?
Yeah, I open it.
All right, it's Talia,
Dang it.
and she has a food cart, like a rolling cart of breakfast items for you and your friends.
Ephelien just lets her in and doesn't say anything.
Okay. Ephelien just simply says, "Oh, are the others still sleeping? Okay, all right, I'll be quiet. She kind of wheels the food over. It's all kinds of delicious breakfast items, cuts of meat that have been heated up. I'm not sure what else really would be on the table for medieval breakfast foods.
Bread, probably.
A lot of bread, pastries.
Sure.
So much pan. Gerbo opens the door to his room, like his section of the room.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
Right. The
I
smell
have
would
my-
wake you up, I imagine.
I have my rapier drawn, and I'm like looking, and then I put it away, just like thinking, like there was somebody entered, and you never know.
Wow, very paranoid.
You never know.
He's seen a lot in his 4 weeks away from home.
Yeah,
4 weeks.
Yeah, Lorson being a controlling kind of person, I wouldn't have put it past him to try to do something.
Okay.
So I was prepared.
Okay. Well, all it is Talia, and she has your big trays of food.
Yep.
She's like, "Oh, Master Gerbo, you're awake. Oh, fantastic. That's so good morning to you. Good morning. I prepared all kinds of delectable treats for you. I made sure to get all your favorites."
Oh my god, did she cook them herself?
Do you ask that real? Do you ask that in real?
No, I
in
just
character?
I just need to know.
You should ask it in character.
I mean, given what I have told you about Talia, would it surprise you?
No,
she did?
She was up all night. She's up all night, Gerbo.
So damn funny. Okay, Talia, if you would like, if you would like, now this is up to you. Could you go and summon a few of my friends from school? We are going on an adventure today.
An adventure? Where, Master Gerbo?
Well, the details they will find out when they get here.
Spoken like royalty.
School friends. I think I have notes about that somewhere. Okay, very well. I shall be off. I shan't take too long for you. Anyway, enjoy your scrumptious breakfast.
Thank you very much, and see to yourself the coin jar outside.
Coin jar.
You know, there's
like,
like
are you tipping her?
Yeah, like, you know, there's like a little jar of coins, like, you know, that people put in.
That
like...
feels so insulting.
It is kind of insulting.
It's so demeaning.
It may be demeaning,
She's like
but
throwing her true love at you. You're like, get a few pennies.
It's the culture of the
No,
city.
it's rude.
It's rude to tip in Europe. Okay.
No,
that doesn't mean that it's the wrong thing to do.
Okay. So she leaves, and you don't hear her. Like, you don't hear the typical. Like, other servants would take a tip in the tip jar.
Sure, right.
You don't hear her like jiggle, like shaking the jar around or anything. She's just gone.
Love is priceless. Her love is priceless.
Good stuff. No, this is fine. This is okay.
She's too pure.
Yeah.
Too pure. I love it. Okay.
Ephelien says, Gerbo, why don't you tip us?
Well, I think I do owe you something from the bet a few days ago, don't I?
No, I lost.
Well, maybe I don't owe you anything then.
It was close, though.
It was close.
It wasn't that close.
It was pretty close. I magically enhanced her streak, so.
Remember the time you almost lost to a girl?
Hey. Cella sits up in bed and says, hey.
Cella is immediately awake.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Gerbo, you're inviting people to come with us on this trip to the water temple?
Well, I assumed that at this point we could use all the help we could get. And the people that are joining, you know, I feel like if anyone will know where this is, they may.
I already sent somebody. Don't you think you're putting them in harm's way, unwittingly, not telling them what this is about?
Who did you send?
A friend.
When?
Last night. I made a friend last night. That's so hard to believe.
Where? Who? Who in the city would befriend you?
Wow.
She flashes her teeth at him. She flashes her teeth at him. She's not very good at anything relating to charisma.
You
Oh,
freaking critted. Like,
yeah, I have a -1. So that was a nat 20.
You have a -1 on intimidation?
Yeah.
Well,
What?
yeah, -1 on charisma. Yeah.
Oh, charisma. You can't be good at everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
So
so
I
damn funny.
critted on trying to intimidate Gerbo.
Well.
Okay. Jeez, like maybe you did make a friend, but I'm still very curious who it may have been. If that is the case, I still think that these people are well qualified to join us.
And they're more of these elves or these other gnomes? Who exactly is joining? I don't know that our party is just welcome to bring in people, and I don't know. It just seems weird without asking us.
Are they like servants?
Well, how about this? They join us. We talk about the adventure we're going on. We see what information they have. And if they seem up to par and we all get a good vibe, they join us.
Yes, it will all depend on if we're vibing well.
Yes, it will all depend on the vibe. If it doesn't work, no problem. They're just strictly information. How does that sound?
Sure.
Well, I never mind defending somebody if I need to, so it's fine.
Listen, these people haven't seen me in who knows how long. It's been so long.
I'm sure they'll be delighted.
They'll be so happy to see me. And honestly, whatever information they have, I'm sure it will be helpful. Some more information than we have now. And if they seem to have an in, then maybe they join us.
And then with the merfolk, with the underwater temple.
The scary people.
The scary people.
Well,
are you implying that druids are scary?
I'm sometimes scared, obviously. You just intimidated me.
Yes, very good.
You should be.
But these people, they could have helpful information. They might not, and if they don't, no problem. We can leave them here. There's tasty breakfast. They'll be happy to eat it. And then we'll leave and just say toodly-doo, bye-bye. We're going to the lake.
Cella,
ask no more questions.
Cella inches toward the tasty breakfast.
Of course.
She inches toward the tasty breakfast to see if there's anything worth eating. Oh!
You double critted!
What?
It's gonna be one of those.
Wow!
Really good.
Holy shit!
I just created an investigation of breakfast.
Get those good rolls out now.
Get those good rolls out now when it really matters.
Yo, this is story building. There's nothing much more rich than that.
Hey, this is the role play. This is essential.
What does she see on the breakfast cart?
So on the breakfast cart, you see a whole host, like 3/4 of the plate, like the main plate is covered in pastries that are covered in frosting. Some are stuffed with jellies. Some are stuffed with different colored types of frostings. It's very sweet.
They're a very sweet breakfast.
Right. You look. It looks like there's some meats, like say what you think might just be ham. You think there also is some bread as a side to the meat. There's a few other kinds of meats as well. Some lamb. That's exotic.
Cella picks up the lamb with her bare hands and starts just chowing down.
It is delectable.
Gerbo looks at her and just says, "Well, that's usually eaten more daintily." Yeah. Like,
what? I'm just curious. I assume Braundir would be woken up by the commotion, right?
Yeah, I think that in this, like, he's like transitioned into a chair in the corner and just watching this happen. Really unamused and ready to go because he's been talking. He's like, "Why didn't you?"
Oh yeah. I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Yeah. No. And honestly, Braundir is looking for one of those servant collar rope things, like on Downton Abbey, or a bell to ring.
Yeah.
To ring them.
Yeah.
You do see. Okay, so as you scan the room, you see one that's in it's like around the king size bed.
It's cool.
And you see
one which is
that's
great
like
because Gerbo is so tiny.
And you see another. And it's like, and you can tell it's exceptionally low to compensate. And you also see another one that is like near the door.
Well, I go to the door and I ring that bell and I go and sit back down.
Okay.
I'm not saying it.
So you wait maybe 5 minutes, and Talia answers the door.
Talia, thank you for bringing Gerbo food, but there are 3 other people in this room. And before Cella eats your loved, soon-to-be husband, please bring us some food. I am famished.
Before you eat all the food, and he said that Talia was my soon-to-be wife.
soon-to-be husband.
Yeah.
She blushes. She blushes at the suggestion and tries to ignore it to the best of her abilities. And stutteringly says, "Yes, right. What kind of food would you like?"
Just none of that sweet stuff. If you can just get straight to meat, then that'd be excellent. Thank you.
Meat? All right, meat. Coming right up. All right, I'll be right back down. And
then I yell out, Talia, bring the finest meats you have. If friends are joining, we need to have the best meats you have available.
I was looking over my list, the list of your school friends. I am not sure I'm be able to get back in contact with most of them. You'll have to give me some time. Maybe I will be able to reach out to people.
What?
Many of them are away in other houses, after all.
They're not here anymore?
Well, I mean, most of them aren't.
Oh. Well, I assumed they would still be here. What about Emmaus? They're not here to study under him anymore?
Well, I mean, he's not exactly able to teach. Last I checked, for the last several years.
Well, I mean, I assume that. I guess that's true, but it's just so hard to believe that they left in so quickly in such a poor state. Well, whoever you can get, then maybe we will make do.
Yes, of course. But I will see to your request, Braundir, and get you your meat. Would anyone else like something specifically for breakfast? Anyone?
This is excellent, thanks. And John,
I'm full.
just mouthful of veal or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Lamb. Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you enjoy it. Thank you very much. And what about Ephelien?
No, she doesn't ask for anything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So off she goes. You guys. So.
I also have lots of boar meat left. We've only been through about 10% of it.
I forgot about the boar meat.
Yes, Ephelien, but I'm not cooking boar meat in the middle of Gerbo's room.
No, we got to save that for when we're on the road.
True.
We can make some jerky by now somehow.
Okay. Friends. While Talia's gone, today's goals. I think we should visit the shop. It always has the best items, and I think maybe we'll go in the lake.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find a way to narrow it down. The lake's huge.
Yeah. The question is, how are we going to get to the middle of the lake where this temple is, and then how are we going to breathe underwater, and then how are we going to enter? So
you can leave the second and third of those to me. Don't worry.
Cryptic, but
breathing underwater and getting underwater.
Yes, I have us covered in those fronts.
So now it's about where to go.
Now it is about where to go. I may also have us covered there.
Does your alleged friend have an answer?
It's possible. I have to go and see him to find out, though. So,
well, where is he? I know almost everyone in this town. I'm interested to hear who's your friend.
He probably didn't run with his sort very often when you lived here, if I had to guess.
Well, I was in with the affluent and also the not affluent, so I would assume that I was pretty well rounded while I was here.
He was a snake of a fellow, if you want to put it that way.
A snake of a fellow. Interesting. I'm now very intrigued.
A bit of a bottom feeder.
A bottom feeder.
Please, before I kill myself.
At this point, let's say about 15 minutes passes. She comes back with good platters, 2 platters worth of meats for Braundir.
Thank you, dear. Now, let's eat.
And she also, I know how you dwarves are, and she hands you 2 heaping glass, like full. What's the word I'm looking for?
Steins, like big
steins of ale.
Yes.
Oh, my dear.
Gerbo gives her like a round of applause. It's like, yes, bravo.
Ephelien grabs one of them.
Oh, damn. Okay. Are you just gonna chug it, Ephelien?
No, but she's gonna get started on it.
Sure.
Well, Braundir doesn't really mind. Thank you. That's very kind and thoughtful of you. If only I could say the same of Ephelien, but regardless, thank you.
Yes, I didn't quite expect that either. Anyway, enjoy your meal.
Talia, while you're here, I had a question for you.
Yes?
Well, while you're, sweeping and being doing your duties throughout, I was wondering if you ever heard anything about the temple within the water. Did you hear anything about that?
Oh, the temple in the lake? Well, I mean, I've heard things. I've certainly heard things from Master Lothern. Was it Lothern? Lortham? Lorson. There it is. Is that right?
Well, Lorson, he probably would know something, I guess. Yes.
Right. I typically, on some nights I am assigned to clean out his personal quarters. So every now and then I am privy to some information. What do you want to know?
Well, I was wondering where he may be right now.
Right now, I believe he's answering. I believe today he might be. I think he might be in communication with a few dwarves.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
Well, interesting. Well, is he available? Because we have a dwarf with us, and maybe he could use some assistance in his communication. I'm sure the dwarf would be more than happy to hear a familiar voice, and
I believe he was supposed to be speaking with. He was supposed to be speaking with some members of the clan council, if I recall correctly.
It's interesting.
Braundir, what do you think? How about we go visit and maybe he will know some information about the water temple?
That sounds good.
Okay. Are you sure? Have you had enough breakfast? Are you good? Does anyone need anything else?
Oh no, this is perfect.
How about you back there, Cella? Is that your name?
It was delicious. Thank you.
All right,
Nice.
thank you. Yes,
Good
very
stuff.
well. I also assume everyone is kind of dressed.
Yeah.
For ready to go.
We are rearing to go.
Yeah.
All right.
Cella sleeps in her battle outfit.
That's not that crazy actually.
Yeah.
I pull out before we leave. I pull out from my wardrobe the fancy robe that I haven't been able to wear in a long time.
Oh shit.
It's like at my room. So
Yeah.
I'm now wearing it, and it was infamous in the region of being classic.
For you.
Yeah.
Classic Gerbo.
Yeah, classic Gerbo.
What color is it?
Obviously
Yeah.
gold.
Gold.
Okay. Gold robes.
Is it like furry or sleek? Or...
Well, I mean, it has gold accent. It's mostly like purple.
Oh, okay.
Because that's like, you know, the color of like the city and everything. So it's like,
sure,
you know, it's tasteful, but like mostly like it has like a lot of like purple accents.
Okay.
So.
All right. So you guys make it out of Gerbo's room, and you travel up to the audience chamber, and you see Lorson seems to be talking with a couple of dwarves that Braundir you haven't really seen before. But looking at them, you think they are probably emissaries.
Okay.
And everyone kind of and Luvan is also standing beside Lorson, along with a few rudimentary guard that are standing at ends of the room, just a couple of them. And whenever you guys enter, you all, like, everyone's eyes turn to you. And Lorson spots Gerbo in his infamous outfit. And he just lets out a big sigh.
And I just kind of walk in the room like, Lorson, good to see you. Good morning.
Like, good morning, Master Gerbo.
You seem very excited to see me this morning.
Oh, I am ecstatic.
It's
Luvan like also like some, Luvan.
Some guests.
Luvan looks and his eyes. What?
It's like some guests are here.
That is correct. We were just discussing a few possible future arrangements.
I'm obviously interested.
One of the dwarves says, "Aye. We were speaking about the possibility of, well, assistance.
Is that so? North. What could you need assistance for?
Going north."
What reason is there to go north? We have no purpose in going north beyond the towers.
Not yet. We don't. It depends entirely on the group that Beastbane and her name is escaping me.
Catherine.
The clan council sent them out. Depending on what they find, we need to mobilize and mobilize quickly. Now the elves, in particular, House Eladrin, has ships that could get us there far faster than just walking through the mountains and the desert.
So what exactly are you preparing for then? It seems to me that there's no speak of any reason to worry about wargs.
We're simply exploring options in the event of war.
Now, I'm assuming this is on the guidance of Beastbane.
Yes, and their scouting party they've sent ahead. Things have been rather bad up north. It's so bad that dwarves stationed at the fortresses can't even go out ranging anymore. Too many have been lost or killed. Some of the Arakok, huh?
And you think that they're coming south?
It's a possibility we have to be ready for. It's better to be proactive than, well, reactive.
Well,
Well, have we I mean, obviously the Badlands are not a great place, but have we considered the fact that there's a threat that is otherworldly out there?
What are you talking about?
You haven't heard?
You were around 7 days ago, weren't you?
Like, you existed 7 days ago, right?
I mean, we heard about the Lich. I mean, everyone's heard about the Lich that attacked Durin, obviously.
So me bringing this up, is it a surprise?
No. I don't know if I'd call it otherworldly. That's a bit strange. I mean... Lich Lord...
I take a few steps closer to him, and like I kind of like look him over, and I'm gonna do an investigation by crit fail. So, sweet. So I look at him, and
he's a dwarf.
He's definitely a dwarf. He is for sure a dwarf.
How astute.
I look back and I just say to everyone, it's definitely a dwarf. For sure. And I say, well, in fact, we came here because we believe that the real threat is actually within the lake.
The lake? Why?
Amongst other places, yes. Yeah.
And he turns to Lorson and says, what's he talking about in the lake? Lorson visibly, his face visibly like gets a little red with anger that you mentioned that, Gerbo.
Well, Lorson, are you surprised that I know? Are you embarrassed that I brought it up?
It's something that is our own problem that we are dealing with.
Well,
I feel it's highly inappropriate to talk about it at this precise juncture.
The dwarves had their own
themselves.
What?
The dwarves had their own corruption underneath their city. The same type as underneath the lake.
The dwarves. It's this time the dwarves are like, wait, how do you know about that?
We're the ones that closed it.
Oh.
Who do you think gave them access?
And one of them kind of looks at you, Braundir, and then it kind of dawns on him. Oh. I think this is him. Oh,
yes.
No.
You can get on with your preparations at will, but know that this is not the only threat that's out there. And by starting a war with orcs, if that's what Beastbane is after, is only going to disrupt our defenses even more. We don't know what we're dealing with. We do know that no place is safe or sacred. And portals could happen, and more Lich Lords could happen. Other worldly Lich Lords could come about in just a matter of seconds. So.
Hi. Well, this is simply a question of what if. And the Clan Council would rather be safe or more prepared for the worst. So, we are simply making arrangements now. What kind of deals we need to cut with House Eladrin and a few other elven houses in the region to see if we could get some of their ships.
And then I kind of take a few steps forward and I say, is this like the deal you cut with the Wizard King?
Oh boy. That's ancient history.
Well, history does repeat itself, doesn't it?
Ooh, burn. Burn.
Aye.
I look at Lorson and I say, Emmaus didn't teach you, did he? If we're going to attack the orcs, you're going to undo the centuries. I cannot believe it.
Lorson simply just stares back and says, listen, they made a deal, all right? A pact with Malkor. Once they did that, there was no going back. After this, it's simply a matter of containing a threat.
Braundir, what did we hear? What was the phrase that we heard just the other day? That Pelora and Malkor were something?
The two sides of the same coin.
I've seen the Dark God do insidious things like open rifts and corrupt things, but I've also seen him manipulate politics and raise armies. I think if the orcs are and the hobgoblins and all the others are connected with Malkor, then that could be just as much of a threat as these temples.
Thank you. Now, regardless of what's happening in your region, if the orc tribes decided to band together under a new war chief, we would all be in danger.
There's no harm in preparing, but just know that this isn't your only battle that we're fighting.
I am vaguely aware that Beastbane had some of the underways investigated more thoroughly and cleansed, I guess.
Well, we all know where those underways connect to.
Indeed. That's why no one uses them anymore, or at least they're not supposed to.
You're welcome. Gerbo, why are we in here?
Well, I mean, I didn't expect to be barging in on history repeating itself, but apparently that's what we're doing. I expected to come here and learn more about the temple in the lake and how we could help defeat that threat, similarly to how we've helped defeated 2 previous threats in this world. But I mean, who am I to assume anything anymore?
Mercenaries. Who has hired you?
What? Mercenaries.
You're here on someone's orders, are you not? Or emissaries.
Right.
What's the word?
Yeah, they're emissaries.
Oh, dang it. I got that backwards. Emissary is not a mercenary.
Yep, it's not.
A little bit less.
Although that would be pretty great if they were like, your mom.
Literally.
Well, I was hoping that would be the case.
We literally work for your mom.
Dang, I really thought they were mercenaries instead of emissaries.
Yeah, no, not quite.
Dang it. I was going to try to get them to come with us. But...
Oh, that would have been cool.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Well,
so, Lorston says, if you want to discuss more details about the lake, you would do well to go and see the mages of Alderaan doing their best to scour the lake, try and finding our missing compatriots.
Very well. I'm not going to tell you how to do your job, but if you plan to offer this city's services to take over the Badlands or something stupid like that, then I hope that whatever we're getting out of it is worth it. And if I may need their services, I hope that they're able to join us at some point. But if that's not something they can bring and they can help protect this city, then I don't understand why you would offer your services to them.
It simply comes back again to the possibility of a new war chief, a new horde of orcs that will come screaming down from the Badlands. I was alive back then. I saw the damage they could inflict. And if it were not for Beastbane and his army, his trained army, well, I don't think we would be here having this conversation at this moment.
Well, you got to give Beastbane credit. He's ready to battle, whether it's in his benefit or not.
Certainly. And as we said, this is simply a precautionary measure. Nothing is finalized. This is simply a question of hypotheticals.
Well, I can only imagine that, of course, this house of mages and druids would do the exact same thing. All of us elves, well, all of you elves, would do the same thing as a entire community of dwarves. No offense, Braundir. I just assumed that we would be better than that, but maybe not.
And Lorson, at this point, looks away from you, Gerbo, and says, you may take your leave. You and your friends.
And then I kind of turn around and walk towards the door, and I say, I guess we go off to protect the city.
Well, city for the time being.
Sounds about right. Hope we do a good job. If not, you'll be calling on all the other dwarves. Hopefully they can swim.
On the way out the door, Braundir looks to the emissary and says, send Cathris my regards.
Of course. Of course.
I want to...
It's good to see her... Huh?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that it's good to see her son in good health.
If I can retcon it, Cella has been headed towards the lake this whole time.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. I feel like that's what she should be doing anyway.
Yeah, she doesn't care about politicking.
That's yeah.
I assume when you heard we were going to see dwarves, you were like, yeah, fuck that.
Just gone.
Yeah. All on dwarves last week.
Yeah, I'm good. Like,
I've seen enough of them for one lifetime.
I'm gonna go up close to Lorson.
Yeah.
And say, we cleansed the corruption from under the Dwarven city without their permission and without their resources, and made their leaders look quite foolish. I'm sorry that we interrupted your meeting, but this is your one chance to give us some resources and maybe avoid looking foolish yourself.
Roll persuasion.
I'm not great at that, but there we go.
Damn.
Nice.
Lucky.
Lucky.
Yeah.
So you say that, and Lorson kind of is taken a little aback, and he kind of looks a little lost in thought for a second. Then he sighs again and says, Hi. Well, it would not be the first time I've looked foolish. But you're right. There are definitely strange occurrences happening in the lake. Some of the fish that the fishermen have dragged up, as well as, well, others have seen, have been, well, deformed in different ways. It's very strange. And the rain just seems to never stop at this point. I fear something more terrible will come of it. Very well. What is your name? I forget.
Ephelien.
Ephelien. Lady Ephelien.
She looks uncomfortable when he says that.
Cringe.
Cringe.
Yeah, cringe.
I will send word to our top mages that, well, you are part of the force, a part of our group that will help investigate what's going on and put an end to it, and to coordinate with you whenever possible. How does that sound?
Do you have like a seal or a symbol or something so that people will know that we're working on your behalf, so we can impress people for you?
Right. Of course. He snaps his fingers, and a quill rises up from his belt pocket, and then a scroll of paper opens up as well, and it begins to automatically jot down basically a note, an official note, and it stops at a certain point, and he takes it and he signs it. He writes his signature, and then he gets a wax seal on it, even, or rather, a seal is magically put on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of burned into the paper without actually burning it. And he hands it over to you and says, "Here is an official notice from Lord Lawson of House Alderin. Detailing essentially what I have said. That our mages and warriors are to coordinate with you whenever possible."
Handy.
I'll take it and just nod and walk away.
All right. So that was a hell of a persuasion check.
No shit.
Right. Nicely done.
Very good. Cool. So
you guys are heading down the lake.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna switch maps now.
Oh.
Interesting.
Excited.
You are now at the coastline.
Oh,
It's been a long
dope.
time.
nice.
I like it.
Love it.
That's cool.
And now I'm going to place your characters.
Okay.
They're a little big.
This is sweet. I like this a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, this looks good.
I believe that is everybody.
I don't see anybody.
I don't see us.
Oh, my bad. Hold
Do
on.
the thing with the layers.
Yeah, it's the thing with the layers. You're right. It's the thing and the layers.
The thing with the layers.
There you go.
There
we go.
we are.
Ooh.
Hey. Haven't seen that in a while.
Yep.
Gerbo, I forget that you're like an old man. I never picture you as being that.
I know, I don't either.
Y'all, it's just, I know it's surprising. Cella's like way down there. Okay.
I've been here.
So hold on.
Oh yeah, you've been there. That's right.
Hold on.
Should I move back?
You might want to move back.
Oh shit.
Oh.
What does that mean? What do you mean you might want to move back? Massive creature.
Something's about to happen.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, it's a new map. A load screen.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure to quick save.
Oh.
Quick save.
Who they?
So as you guys are approaching the coast, you run across a few elven guards. These look like typical, like, just run-of-the-mill troops, or just city guard. One of them says, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to stop you here. We've been told by Lord Lawson that...
I'll hand him the note before he even finishes talking.
Okay, hold on here. And he kind of opens it up, scans through it. Oh. I see. So you're here to help with the investigation?
Have any of you seen anything unusual in this area lately, the last few days?
Unusual? Where to begin? I mean,
besides us.
Well, admittedly, you are all quite unusual. No offense, Master Gerbo.
I look at him and I say, "You know who I am?"
Of course, it's hard to miss you, especially in your traditional garb. Gotten onto a bit of good debauchery back in your day. I've heard the stories.
Well, if you've heard the stories, then you would know not to talk to me like that.
Gerbo, give him a break. We're just trying to help.
He's saying you're a legend.
You're right. I am a legend. And I kind of back away.
And he kind of does a slight bow and says, "Yes, indeed, Master Gerbo."
Gerbo takes like 3 or 4 steps back, and I'm like, I'll let you do your thing.
Fair enough. And the guard says, yes. So there have been several boats that have gone missing in the last few days, especially. Reports have been some sort of giant monster, sea monster of some sort that rises from the depths and destroys ships. There's been a few that have managed to avoid it. That's the only reason we know about it at all. There have also been strange sightings of robed figures going in and out of the water.
And where are these figures coming in and out from?
Well, it's been reported at several points in the lake, but one of them is certainly here.
So, like on this entry point?
Yes, on this very coastline.
That place where your green circle showed up.
Well, not exactly that. This coastline. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there she goes.
Oh, is that all right? Is she okay to go forward like that?
She'll be fine. Now,
all right.
Have any of you interacted with these rogue figures?
We've never had a chance to, and those who have tried, they just seem to ignore them. There have been a few, however, who have gotten a better look at the faces underneath. It's quite disturbing.
Face being misshapen.
Yes.
Skin.
Very misshapen, fish-like, I guess. Webbed hands, even tentacles, though I've never seen that myself.
And they're coming out of the water, but do you know where they're going to?
It's difficult to say. Some of them have come out of the water, but more often than not, the reports have just simply stated that they're there, and then it's like they're gone.
What do you think?
Also, there's been... I have heard, of course, a few of my tales of the merfolk and merwomen in particular. They seem to have, well, been less active as of late.
Yeah, well, if we don't find anything else, we can always set up here and have a good old-fashioned stakeout.
Who brought the coffee? Surely Talia can bring us some.
Of course.
Right.
She could even bring us steak if we would like.
We have.
Well, I will. So me and me and the rest of the guards here are simply going to keep anyone else that might be curious out. Give you guys room to do whatever it is you need to do.
I walk up to the guard, and I go to shake his hand. And I kind of like stick my hand out and give him like kind of up, and I shake his hand.
Okay, he gladly takes it and shakes it vigorously.
Great. Yep, I give him shocking grasp.
Wow.
Oh my god. Literally a party clown.
I should give him shocking grasp. What does he do?
So he takes your hand and starts to shake it vigorously, and then he kind of tenses up. He's like, He struggles to take his hand away from yours. And at first he's angry. And he turns to you, but then he realizes who you are again. He's like, oh, that was quite good, Master Gerbo. You got me there.
Oh.
And then I say, yes, legendary.
Glasses on.
And then I say, if you wouldn't mind, if you give us the whole beach, you can wait up there. I'm sure no one will be trekking towards the beach without hitting the cliff.
Yes, you're right. I should give you guys as much room as needed to invest for your investigation. Come along then, boys. Let's go. They don't need our help. They go further up.
I'm gonna do ranger stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to resolve something that Cella did.
Okay.
Give me a second here.
I can narrate.
Go ahead and narrate.
The Cella reaches in a pouch at her belt and pulls out one of the, I think there were 3 magic mushrooms that Valkyra gave her.
Oh, dang.
And uses a cantrip to light it on fire and casts it onto the ground in front of her and waits.
Okay. So the mushroom burns normally, but then the flame, what happens is the flame begins to die down and more smoke begins to billow out of this mushroom. A seemingly impossible amount of smoke. And then the smoke kind of not quite materializes, but it becomes almost a shadow of Valkyra.
What? I draw my crossbow.
And says, what have you to report?
Hello, Auntie. It is as you feared. The druidic temples here in the Amakira forest have been corrupted. Personally, I encountered a druid from the Circle of Stars who reported that his circle had been infiltrated. He had recently defected, and we hear reports of strange attacks from under the waters of Thanis Lake. In fact, we now have confirmation that this Temple of Water is, as you said, beneath the surface, and I suspect that these druids have been corrupted. And, well, we are about to try and make contact with this circle. I was reaching out to you to ask if you happened to have any of the defected water druids present with you.
Unfortunately, child, I do not.
I see. I know you mentioned that many of the defected druids had been taking refuge with our circle.
There have been a few, yes, but they have come from other places as well. Actually, wait, hold on. I need to check continuity here.
You good?
I'm trying to remember if there were defectors that came from Thanos Lake in particular.
I can't remember where we said they came from.
We may not have said.
Well, your call.
Your circle might be one of the less likely ones for them to go to, though.
Yeah, I think it would be very unlikely. I think my thinking on it was there'd be maybe one or two
Gotcha.
that may have ended up there.
Gotcha.
That'd be more by chance than anything.
Okay.
She says, no, the others have come from other temples.
I see. Before I go, is there anything you can tell me about the customs of the Druids of the Water Temple that might help us gain safe entry?
From what I remember long ago, those Druids of Water seemed to like song, but not just any song. It seemed as though they were imitating sirens of the lake. I believe that they may have used those as a means of identifying themselves.
The songs of the sirens of the lake.
Yes.
I see.
That is what sticks out in my mind.
Well, that is helpful. Thank you. Is all well back home?
We are doing our best to assist the Order of Twilight with their cleansing of the Redwoods. I have personally begun to reach out to another outsider, you could say.
An outsider?
Someone who is not from this world. Not the outsider that has ravaged other druidic circles and communities.
But what do you mean? Who is this outsider then? How did they find you?
That I am still trying to figure out. They initiated contact first. But they are elven-like.
Well,
they seem to serve a queen.
The Everqueen?
Yes, that sounds correct.
I see. Well, we do have one among our members who is very trustworthy, coming from an outside world, serving the Everqueen. But Aunt Valkyra, please be cautious. I would be very slow to trust anybody who comes from outside our world, based on what I have learned so far.
Indeed. The fact that they were able to find me and our circle is cause for concern enough.
I agree. Please keep our people and, of course, the Circle of Twilight as well safe. And
indeed.
Thank you. I have to be going.
One last thing, dear child.
Yes.
Let me look at notes real quick. He is well.
He is.
Yes.
Let us hope that he stays that way.
Indeed.
Cella turns her back on Valkyra.
The smoke dissipates and just goes off into the air.
All right. How many of you have breathed underwater before?
What the hell was that about?
I'm sorry if this is an offensive question, but was that a hag? I mean like an actual hag, not like a derogatory term.
Right. Yeah.
Druids don't age well, characteristically, but then again, she does have a few hundred years on her side.
Well, so do I.
Humans are not meant to live so long. The supernatural powers granted her by the powers of our order grant her abnormally long life beyond what really should be physically possible. She used to be quite a beauty in her day.
Hmm.
I don't like hags.
Well, she's not a hag, Ephelien.
Good.
And safe.
Good.
Good.
And are there other members of your group, Ephelien, who would be approaching my aunt or the other druidic circles? She mentioned an outsider who serves the Ever Queen.
I don't know. My assignment here is not a. Let's just say your world is in less dire straits than some others, and I'm not the most experienced and high-ranking person in my order, so.
A need-to-know basis.
So maybe it's worse than they thought here.
I see. Very good. Well, anyway, back to my first question. How many of you breathed underwater before?
Never in my life.
Well,
I did open my mouth underwater once.
how did that go, Master Gerbo?
Not well. Not well at all, actually.
I hope it wasn't in a public pool.
Yeah.
No.
Even on Novera, public pools are gross.
Yep. It's a universal.
Well, my only advice to you is to try to relax, think happy thoughts, and ignore the immense sense of pressure that comes in the first time that you take a breath.
So, Ephelien, make a perception check. Or not Ephelien, Cella.
Okay. Not great.
But not terrible either. So, as you're kind of casting this, kind of talking to everyone, you notice in the water, you spot underneath the surface, close to the surface, a long shape that you've seen before. And you think it's the eel that's already back.
Nice. Eel friend.
You also see other shapes that are deeper in the water.
Okay, like larger shapes?
Yes.
Okay. I sent out the welcoming party, I think. This is the friend that I mentioned, Gerbo.
Well, no wonder you didn't think I knew who they were. These aren't people, these are fish.
She starts wading out into the water until she's like waist deep, and she ducks her head all the way under into the lake to look at the eel.
The eel swims up to you and is staring at you at face level. Its eyes are locked onto yours.
Hello, my friend.
What's the deal with this eel?
It says, we meet again.
I see you're not alone this time.
There are others. They are changed. They are surface dwellers.
Changed to look like someone who dwells in the water.
Yes. They have been changed.
My friend, do you think I need to change as well?
At this point, his eyes become white, like they gray over, like almost like cataracts. And he says, "Yes,
Creepy.
it is the way of things.
Creepy. Okay.
And I have a message for you. From those in the temple below. In the deep.
I'm listening.
It's at this point that his voice begins to change. Now it's time for the voice modulator to kick in.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All must be drowned in the waters of creation. To be reborn and changed. Deep calls to deep. Blood calls to blood. Come and see.
Water druids are so far gone.
Kill it. Kill it.
Kill it. And then
Yeah, I'm not loving what I'm seeing here.
and then at that point the eel's mouth opens in a way you've never seen an eel's mouth open before. There are mandibles that spring out of it in different directions, and its mouth is full of teeth.
All right,
And-
I cast primal savagery and try to fucking kill this eel.
I'm just showing you a picture of what you're seeing.
I can't see anything, but I don't know if I want to be frank.
Can you see it?
No.
Damn it.
Is this going to be like one of those internet things where you're staring at the maze really close and then all of a sudden the demon face pops up?
Like, I'm trying to share it with players, but it's not doing it. There's like an image I'm trying to show. Damn it. Why is that? Okay, hold on.
Drew's going to give me
I found art for this. I'm going to show it.
determined to be digress. No, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I know the struggle. Oh, here we go. Ew.
Nice.
No.
I was gonna say it's like the creature on James and the Giant Peach.
Just let it be known, I cast that primal savagery. You can watch the Twitch again. I cast it before you sent this thing, trying to kill this baddie before he strikes me.
Dude, that thing is freaking wild.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I feel bad that I sent him to his doom and corruption. Sorry, eel friend.
And I'm just curious, could you guys hear everything I was saying with that voice modulator?
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
much so.
No, that's freaking creepy.
Good.
Really creepy.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
So, your attack hits, and he is dead.
Okay.
Like, it bears its crazy mandibled, fanged mouth at you, and you swipe at it with your clawed hand, and its face just gets decimated because it is just an eel after all.
It is, after all, just,
It's just
a very,
a little
very
eel.
creepy little eel. Just collateral damage in this celestial war that's going on.
Hold on, and now I need to. So Cella, wade out into the water just a little bit.
She's like balled. So she's like in probably like 3 feet of water, like balled up and hunched down so that her face is under the water. But she can wade out further.
So yeah. So hold on. Let me.
Oh.
Yeah, right about there. That's good.
Yeah, you just get right in front of that creature.
Just get right up next to the baddies.
Oh, he's dead now. Gerbo is like seeing what's happening and realizes he's like wearing like his like super fancy clothing and is like having this like, oh shit, like we're about to go in the water.
It took him a second.
Yeah, like I just didn't like connect it.
Well, we probably all have stuff that would be ruined if we went in the water, so
yeah, that's probably true.
We may have to deal with that.
I don't have a spell for that.
Interesting.
Braundir has been trying out his water walking thing right on the coast, but hasn't been brave enough to go in on top of the water.
So, Braundir, you put on your ring.
Always.
And you begin to kind of skirt along the shoreline.
Yeah, it's
and like you kind of like put 1 foot on a little bit of water and 1 foot still on the sand.
I imagine it's almost like walking on ice.
Yeah.
It's just like not necessarily slippery, but it's just a different texture and it's not earth.
Right. And at this point, those figures in the water begin to rise up to the surface.
Cella straightens up so that she's standing waist deep in water with her head above water again.
Yep. And when it emerges from the water, it looks like they have tattered purple clothes and robes. You think these might be... I mean, I don't know, Gerbo, Cella, somebody roll investigation, I guess, or perception.
Gerbo. You got that 9.
Great.
Well, you know that they were from...
They had a +9. An 11 is not great.
You know that they are wearing the House Alderan colors.
And you said they were tattered. So I think at the tattering, when I see that they're tattered, I am pulling out my crossbow.
They float to the surface, and there are 4 of them. And one of them looks... You finally are able to see a face. And you can see that it's not what you would expect to see. There are many scales covering their face. It appears that their skin has become greenish, and
Go away.
they looks to be kind of in pain.
I shoot my crossbow at him.
All right, so let me reveal them for you. And let me switch to the right layer. I should be able to. Let's see. Just look at the picture, I guess.
Refresh. Interesting. Very much looks like the guy from the movie.
Sea spawn.
What movie was that called again?
Shape of Water.
Shape of Water.
So, which one do you fire at, Gerbo? The one right in front of you, like here?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a hit.
I think Cella turns and yells back at Gerbo angrily, like, "What are you doing?" And then, like, holds up her hands in, like, a show of peace and put that away. They may be our only chance at getting to the temple.
Well, there's 4 of them.
Wow. Wow. Well, that shot almost, like, you hit, like, a vital area, because it is, like, there's blood gushing out of it into the water. It's still alive, but barely.
Cella moves. No, that's not gonna work. Cella cusses under her breath. Cella moves towards this creature. She's looking back at the other ones to see if they're, like, becoming hostile towards her now.
I take some steps forward and I hold the crossbow in the air, like, vertically, and I'm yelling out, like, who are you? And we obviously are not afraid to attack.
One of them breaches the surface and simply... They can't even scream. Rather, you hear it just simply saying, like, making gurgling noises.
Cella keeps moving, like, splashing her way over towards the wounded one and casts Healing Word. Did that come up for you guys?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did. So, like, you're what, out here now, Cella?
Yeah, I can move. Yeah.
Okay. So you cast Healing Word on this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And says, please, forgive my companion. We don't mean you any harm.
Unless you mean harm to us.
She looks over her shoulder and says, diplomacy, Master Gerbo. Diplomacy. In a lake full of monsters that have sunken ships, we need to be diplomatic.
Okay. So, is Ephelien just on that rock?
Yeah, she climbs the rock and pulls her bow out.
That's fair. That's good vantage point. So, the one that you healed, Cella. Are you trying to speak to it underwater? Above water?
I think truthfully, she's been so busy just, like, trying to, like, disarm the situation that she's just been yelling out above the water.
Okay. So it raises its head above the water, and it's starting to get to the level where it can stand, and its head can be above water. And it says, please help us.
What has happened to you?
You've been changed.
Against your will?
Yes.
By those in the lake?
Yes. It is not done. And as he's talking to you, he kind of recoils a bit from pain, and you notice that a tentacle has begun to sprout out of one of his sides.
Okay. Cella takes a cautious step back.
Yeah.
We do want to help you. Can you take us? Can you take us to the ones who did this to you?
And he points his webbed fingers deeper into the lake, towards the center. He says, there, at the bottom, the giant, the monster took us.
What is this monster?
A giant. I do not know how.
Okay.
And what are these other ones doing?
Yeah.
The others are trying to swim to the shore. And they are starting to climb out of the water, and they look they're not in any better shape than the one that Cella is speaking to currently.
Cella calls over her shoulder. Don't harm them. They've been corrupted. They don't mean us any harm.
Braundir is currently pointing Felix directly at the belly of one of these things.
I whistle to the guards that were down here previously. For them to come back down.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Here we go. So... So the one that you have been talking to, he's gonna come down to the beach, and kind of wave at you and say, "What's going on?" Kind of shout down, and he's gonna slowly begin to realize that he sees the other figures in the water, and he's gonna call for his other guard buddies. And they're now down. They're gonna run to you and say, what has happened to you?
Please don't hurt these men, she calls from the water.
One of them kind of looks over and says, "Wait, are those the?"
They're your men.
Oh no.
They've been corrupted by whatever it is in this lake, but please don't hurt them. They need medicine. They need a wizard. They need somebody.
Yes.
A cleric. Anybody. Please help them.
Yes, of course. We'll have to get them here at once. You, go get help. And one of them kind of goes away. Off to run
And
back
then as they're running away, I say, make sure Volmer comes with him.
Volmer? Fine. Summon Volmer. And they run towards those that have already come ashore.
Cella puts an arm around the one that's in front of her and starts to help him move back towards the shore.
Please.
I don't know if I can help you, but I can promise that we'll put an end to whatever did this to you.
Thank you.
And she helps him back into the shore.
Okay.
And then just looks at Gerbo and says, I think that we had all better be prepared for a fate worse than death if we fail to end the corruption in this temple.
Well, I hope if I wash ashore like this one, someone tries to end my life like I did him.
Damn. That may come true, you know.
You're assuming a lot about the quality of life of fish people right now. It might not be that bad.
I've spent a long time building up a reputation here.
So, Braundir, as you have your sword trained on one of them that's coming out of the water, it simply holds its hands up, its webbed, fingered hands to you. It has its head kind of down as it's walking to shore. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Just keep my eyes and sword fixed on it. Not necessarily. I mean, I'm aware of the situation, but not going to put anything away.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything we can really do to help these guys at this point. I think it's just a warning about what is ahead of us.
I'm going to ask one of them, so, why are you coming back?
Where else do we go?
But why would someone do this to you and send you back?
I do not know. We were unconscious during... He kind of looks down at his webbed hands. Whatever it was.
And so where were you going?
Back home.
Home being Eladrin.
Yes.
And I'll look to the guards and say, have any of these other webbed people shown up to the gates of Eladrin?
No, never. This is a first for us.
But this meets the description of what you spoke about earlier.
Indeed, but we've never seen them come back.
I don't know what's going on with this, but it seems suspicious.
Does this seem like Malcore-related corruption, just in a form I've never seen before?
I don't know if you'd need to roll investigation or arcana or...
I don't know, based on my knowledge of corruption I've seen before. I assume it's going to be different than anything I've seen before, but...
It is. You haven't had to deal with a lot of stuff that's been, like, underwater.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a new... Like, it's kind of similar, but it's very different than what you're used to seeing.
I think she kind of wants to confirm her suspicions that it's some kind of version of Malcore-related corruption.
Sure. Okay. I think that would be... I think you would primarily check that via Arcana, right?
Or religion.
Religion? Whichever one's better for you.
I mean, he's a god, so...
Yeah.
They're exactly the same, but I just feel like it would be religion.
Okay.
But yeah, mine are both +0, so...
Ooh.
Not great.
So, you have a vague sense that this could be in line with this could be in line with the sort of corruption that you've seen before, but it's so... Like, the underwater creatures and that aspect of it is so different to you. You're not entirely sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cella is just assuming at this point that they've been corrupted by the corrupted druids. Like, strange outsider Malcore corrupts druids who corrupt the people that they trap in the lake.
So, as these things are getting onto shore, it's very difficult for them to breathe air. It's difficult for them to breathe water, but it seems as though they're kind of, it's haggard breathing. You can kind of tell that, actually, Gerbo, make an investigation check. It looks as if their abdomen, their gut, is kind of extending, swelling up almost.
I give the one, this one, the one that is bottom right to me.
That one?
Yeah, that one. I give him a potion of greater healing.
Okay. You give it to him, so let's roll. Let's see how effective it is. So it's a 4d4 plus 4.
Mm-hmm.
You can click the little pink thing and it'll roll.
Oh, that's convenient. Damn.
You rolled the same.
You both critted.
Okay. All right.
If it's 44.
That's probably an average of 3 and then 4.
Yeah. So you give him the potion of healing, and he takes it and starts drinking it down. But he feels fine. It looks as if the damage you dealt him with that crossbow is going away. But then he drops the bottle and winces in pain. And his gut continues to distend.
I don't like the look of that.
And he begins to radiate
backing away.
Yeah.
It begins to radiate an energy, like a blue aura begins to appear over him, and at a certain point, he screams in pain, and his body begins to liquefy.
Guards, back away! I don't know what's happening.
Oh, what? Oh, they begin to back away, seeing what the hell's happening to this guy, and oh shit. Oh, sorry, that was not what I meant to do.
Did you move the map?
A little bit, yes. Sorry.
Not
Not
intentional.
intentional. Not
It's kind
intentional.
of like when you sit at a stop sign and you think you're going backwards, but it's just the person beside you goes forwards.
Yeah.
It's like,
And he liquefies and begins to rematerialize.
don't do it, Drew.
Drew, no.
Look,
Do it.
this is a narrative campaign.
This is the narrative campaign.
Get all this crap out in the Badlands campaign.
I haven't done anything as weird as what I'm doing right now.
I like it.
He transforms into
Well,
a
shit.
being that seems to be made of water.
Oh no. Elementals.
I'm glad I backed away.
Not elementals. Water elementals are the worst elementals to fight. Because what are they susceptible to?
Electricity.
Not fire.
Two,
Not poison.
Electricity.
Damn.
shocking grasp, maybe.
Ah.
Yeah, use electricity on water. That'll go really well.
All right. And it immediately swings over at the one, like the other guy that's right next to it. And almost kills him. So I think at this point you'll need to roll initiative. So let me... Oh wait, yeah, let me do this. I'll just go ahead and let me just select everybody real quick because I have a nifty tool now.
Nice.
Oh.
I can roll initiative for all.
Nice.
Dang, that's cool. So this is.
How do you apply it?
I did bad.
No. Strange.
Considering
now you can't. Now, typically, what Brett's been doing is, I'll roll initiative, and then. Why is Cella on here twice? That's really bizarre.
Oh, I don't know.
She's only on the initiative tracker once.
I see her twice on my end. That's really weird.
She has 13.14 on mine.
Okay. Then I will take that. I've deleted the clone of Cella, I guess. So one thing that Brett's been doing is you guys can roll initiative. Like, I'll roll initiative for everybody, and then you guys can re-roll. Or you can roll again.
Okay.
It matters if you have like advantage on initiative or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Plus,
what I was thinking.
it makes it where you don't accidentally not add yourself because if you didn't select it or whatever.
Right. Oh, that's weird. There's a copy of you too. Why is there copies of everyone?
I don't see any copies.
I'm seeing them. I'm deleting the blank copies. Don't worry.
Yeah, we don't see any.
That's bizarre. Well, I was seeing them on my end.
I didn't do much better. I went from 5.16 to 6.
So Gerbo, you've
not even a whole point better.
Incredible. So Braundir, you get 21 on initiative. Yeah.
Jeez.
Cella needs to roll, I think.
Cella, you need to
I need to roll? Okay.
Yeah.
Select a token on yours.
Ephelien rolled. Okay.
Yeah. And then hit submit. And
it's a 4.
It's a 4.
Wow.
Not
terrible. Great. Hey.
Okay, so that basically didn't change the order at all. Braundir, you're up first.
Freak. What do I have to tackle water?
I have to say, Gerbo basically did the one thing that would trigger it.
He punctured it.
One fucking thing.
He punctured the thing, right?
Well, he gave a healing potion.
Wait, the healing potion is what made it into water?
Seems like it.
Well,
and they might have all turned into those later if we brought him back.
Yeah, I mean, what's the first thing that the group? What's the first thing that they would do? Right?
Like try to, resurrect them or like give
heal them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Are we glad that we didn't kill these people?
I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to do with these other ones.
I think we need to just get rid of this elemental.
Yeah, but the elemental is probably going to go after these other ones, and does it matter if? They're not going to terribly helpful.
You're cutting out there.
They're just. Oh. I'm freezing up.
You're back.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, you're good now.
We can hear you now.
Okay, my screen is frozen. So, yeah. Anyway. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to rage.
Yeah.
And I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I don't know what else I would do at this point, and to just run in and then just like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dive Felix over my head and just like go in. Let's go
Classic
for it.
Dwarf.
I mean, just I'm very confused. This is not like a rage where it's like it feels good. It's like a very strange, like, I don't know. It's very, oh, this is weird. Let me turn on rage inside of D&D Beyond real quick. You are raging. Arg. Okay.
You are raging.
And Feyblade. Go.
Nice.
That is a hit.
So I get that hit.
Oh, yeah.
Did that include my rage?
She got over
1d6 plus 3.
She's the wizard.
Yeah, it was a crit fail.
Yeah.
So it's 4, 6, 9, 11 damage.
Yeah, and then while I'm inside of it, because I figure it's transparent, I don't know. I guess I'm going to swing again. Because that's what dwarves do.
And it misses.
Not great.
So you slash through it. The water, like some of the water falls, like some of the water in the elemental kind of flings off of it.
Yeah.
But it seems fine otherwise. You did damage it, but not a ton. But anyway.
Being a magic weapon might help.
Right. Yeah. It is a magic weapon, so.
Might help a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, it's this poor guy's turn, and he,
Let's see what he can do.
I guarantee you it's not much.
Not much. Not much.
So. What would he do in this situation?
Run away, maybe?
I think he would run away, actually. Fuck that. He's gonna dash away, in fact. Alright.
That's amazing.
That guy's turn. He is gonna...
How did he
go
get so
for
far
it.
away?
He dashed.
Jesus. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I was mistaking the guard that appeared and the character.
So this is as far as this guy's going, and he kind of slumps into the sand, exhausted. Ephelien.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Yep, fair enough. That's a hit.
17
That's force damage. Yep. I think there's more damage coming, right?
It's already added in.
Okay.
Second attack is not force damage.
Still hits.
It's 6. 6
so
6 regular damage.
Right. So your first bow, like, so the way I'm imagining this is that your arrow, you shoot the arrow, like the first one, and it lands inside of it, and it just kind of makes an explosion of force damage. It seems to damage it a decent amount, and the second arrow just kind of flies through it. It basically didn't take as much damage as you would have thought it would take.
That's it.
Okay. This guy does not get paid enough for this. Now it's the water elemental's turn. It turns to you, Braundir, and it's going to attack. Let me see. So the water element, let me see what it's doing here. So.
In the background, I have world's most epic pirate music mix, 1 hour mix going on my YouTube.
There you go.
Nice.
And I gotta say, it is helping.
Yeah, I need to get better at getting you guys music.
You just click something on the ambient jukebox.
Yeah. guess that's true. Let me...
Tabletop audio.
Oh, through Discord?
Or through Discord.
Or through Roll20.
Yeah. I was looking at Roll20 at first.
It's easier through Roll20, there's just not as many options.
Yeah.
It's just a knockoff of Pirates of the Caribbean, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like rejected Pirates of the Caribbean music, 1 hour mix.
Okay. Okay. This is good. This is good. Can you guys hear that?
Yep.
Is it on Discord?
No. It's on just Roll20.
Well,
It's very quiet.
Nope.
Yep. I can hear.
Hold,
I
please.
guess one thing I forgot to mention is that it is still raining. As you guys are
Oh,
fighting.
yeah. Thanks.
Well, now we definitely know.
Yes. Well, now you definitely
Yeah.
You hear the rain. You hear the rain.
Yeah, but turn it down.
I was just.
I felt like it's appropriate because it's before the storm title. So, anyway.
Cool. Nice.
So the elementals, or Braundir, is going to kind of expand itself outward and try and envelop you. So make a strength saving throw.
I get advantage on those.
And the poor guy beside it is also going to make a strength saving throw. Okay. You saved? God damn, so did that guy. Okay.
Nice.
So... So in that case, the creature will then move on to make attacks against you, Braundir.
Good luck.
It's a 24 hit.
Yeah.
It's a 9 bludgeoning damage.
Hey.
Okay.
Okay, so odd number. Do I round it up or down to
Down.
half it?
Round down. Did you hear me?
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Alright, it is now... So this poor sap is going to try and get away. And he is... also kind of falls to the ground in exhaustion. These guys are not in the best of shape. Gerbo.
I am going to run forward, drawing my Shadow Blade.
Shadow Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait, is it to hit, or...?
I'm not sure. I just hit cast and VTT.
It's a spell.
Well, some spells can roll for hit. Others are DC saves.
It deals 2d8 psychic damage on a hit. So you do have to roll for hit.
Okay, so is this 6? This 6 is 2d8, so let me roll a 20.
Okay.
It's a finesse weapon, so it would be the same as with your dagger or your crossbow or whatever.
Yeah, whatever
Okay.
bonus you get there.
Okay, let me do this. Same as my crossbow.
So that's 6 damage?
That would, yeah, it hits at 26.
Yeah, it does
And
hit.
then I get 2d8
Psychic.
psychic. And then I don't get the plus, because it's actually a spell and not like piercing or anything like the crossbow.
So how much damage is it total?
6.
But you also get sneak attack.
Oh, because he's engaged.
Yeah, and it's a finesse weapon.
So 19 more damage.
Hmm. Yeah.
And the sneak attack damage counts as psychic too, which is pretty sweet.
That is pretty sweet.
So yeah, that's 25 psychic damage.
This water elemental isn't looking as big as it was, which is to mean that it's bloodied.
Fallen.
Okay. This one's also going to try and get away.
I'm gonna use free action to yell out to those guards, say, "Keep an eye on these little green thingies. They are part of Eladrin, after all. Do something, you cowards!" I don't know, like, yeah, I'm inside of a water thing, so it probably sounds like.
All right, Cella, you're up.
Horrified from behind the rock, she casts Chill Touch.
Okay.
Nice.
And she crits.
You super casted that.
So
it creates a ghostly skeletal hand within range that attacks the creature.
What?
Is it cold damage?
Necrotic.
It's necrotic damage.
Okay.
Cold damage, though. Yeah.
So that's 18.
18
10
damage.
Yep.
Drakkar could have this thing finished the first round.
I'm sure he could. Braundir.
Okay. I guess I'm just gonna swing from the inside, y'all.
Yeah, do it.
From the innards.
At least you can breathe. At least you can water breathe.
Oh, wait, whoa. I'm gonna climb on top of this thing, because I can do that.
You can walk on water?
Yes.
Oh my god, he can!
Gosh, I'm gonna climb on top of this thing.
Okay.
Like, I'm gonna walk right on top of this, and I'm gonna be stabbing it from the head, downward and forwards.
Man, that's
Dang.
nuts.
Sever the brainstem.
Two actions. One was a 13 to hit, one was a 24 to hit.
Well, the 24 hits.
Well, I'm riding this thing like a wild bull right now.
11, 11, 13, 15 damage. Okay.
And this is the first time that the party has seen me truly walk on water. By the way.
Yeah.
Other than me
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Jeez. So
Tell
this
us-
guard,
Pretty damn awesome.
Yes.
That's climbing on top of water.
so this guard's gonna. This guard's kind of torn between what Braundir shouted out and what his instincts tell him to do, which is to run. He kind of makes his way downward again. The sea spawn, or rather, this unfortunate elf mage, is just groaning in pain as it's kind of kneeled down in the sand. Ephelien.
She pauses for a split second to try to comprehend the physics of Braundir standing on this water elemental. And then she just shrugs and keeps firing.
That is a hit.
Like all good warriors.
Yes, it's amazing.
14 force damage.
Yep, this guy is... It's... So now more water's been tossed away and it's struggling to maintain its form.
10 regular damage.
Well, it's still alive.
Seems psychic and force is going a long way.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
magical weapons in general. So this guy's gonna run back, and he's gonna try and like get this fella, you know, try and wrap his arms around him and try and assist him back. Let's see, Water Elemental's turn. And it is going to... Let me roll this real quick.
Well, it didn't look like he did very well.
You would be correct. He did not.
That's lucky.
It is going to slightly shift focus, not moving out of Braundir's attack range. It's going to attack Gerbo.
Trying to imagine what it like how Braundir is walking on this thing, because I imagine it like this huge shifting, like thrashing mass of water.
Yeah. It really is.
Climb it
You're,
like
surfing it.
It's kind of like
also
you walk and then all of a sudden, like in a video game, then all of a sudden you're on the wall going up. That's exactly how those physics work.
Braundir, roll dexterity. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, Zach. That's not what I meant. But
It's
fair.
okay.
But
The
it's
game's
fair.
got me.
It's got to be.
Pretty good.
Yeah, you're able to hold your footing on this thing.
Better than average.
Gerbo, I assume a 26 and a 27 hit.
They do.
All right, so that is, oh boy, 10, 7, 36 damage.
Oh.
And I take half of it.
That's right, because you're a rogue.
Because rogues are cheating.
But they're broken.
Yep.
Yep,
So I
rogues are
take
broken.
18.
Okay. This guy is also just on the ground, suffering. Gerbo.
How tall is this thing?
So it is large, I believe. So that means I think it's at least 10 feet tall, right? I'm gonna say it's probably 12 feet tall.
It is 12 feet tall. Okay. That means there's 9 feet between me and Braundir.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll use my I've used Shadow Blade. So if I cast Shadow Blade, that is a slot, and I'm using it.
And it lasts up to a minute, which is
Yeah. So yeah, you can keep attacking with it once you
Okay,
cast
so
Shadow.
that's what I'm gonna do. But since it's focused on me, I don't get sneak attack.
no, but you do get flanking.
Yeah, you still get sneak attack because it's still next to your ally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, okay, sorry. Then I will do this again where I'm using my action and I'm going to roll. I'm using my
Finesse crossbow.
my crossbow really poorly.
That's a miss.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. And I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage.
Okay.
I can do that without
provoking an attack.
provoking an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, and use your full movement.
And use my full movement.
Oh, I forgot about my new stuff.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I
Because
did.
again, rogues are really powerful.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that.
And is that it for your turn?
That's me.
Okay. So I'm going to say that with the guards' help, this one's starting to kind of limp away. Cella.
Oh, hey, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
My new feature, which I haven't got to
Oh, you froze up.
The creature with an opportunity attack. The creature provokes opportunity attacks from you, even if they take disengage action. When a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack against a target other than you, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against the attacking creature.
Yeah, you can make that attack.
I'm gonna make that attack. Feyblade, I choose you.
Go, Felix, go! Yeah!
How do you want to kill this thing?
Yeah! Poor Willow.
So good.
Oh, she's so patient.
So good.
Still sitting there. Amazing.
God, that's so much damage. 9, 11, 16, 18, 20, 22 damage. Okay.
Dang.
So yeah, how do you want to kill this guy?
Yeah, so what I do, as soon as it makes an attack on Gerbo, I pretty much jump up and just slam this Feyblade straight down into the sand, and the water flattens out and recedes.
Yeah, so it just explodes.
Yeah.
Like the water just explodes out. And
we all get a little splash.
Yeah.
Yep. It's probably kind of gross. More than a little gross.
Awesome. Willow's so excited.
All right. So that ends combat for now.
Wow.
Nice.
That's terrible. It's terrible.
Feature worked out.
Oh yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved that.
I loved my anime little thing I had.
I mean, you literally walked on water.
Yeah.
That's pretty gnarly.
So,
nice.
At this point, the guards are trying to wrangle up these guys and take them up away from the beach towards Alderaan. And the guard that they sent up earlier is coming back. Oh, let me grab him if I can.
Do any of us realize like what made that elemental turn into an elemental? What made the sea spawn turn into an elemental?
Roll
Like insight?
investigation or arcana.
Oh, am I connected? No, I'm not. Sorry, I've got to reconnect and then I'll roll.
Okay.
So annoying.
So Gerbo, with the investigation of that, you feel as though the timing is a bit like immediately. It was immediately after this thing drank from your greater healing potion. So you suspect that it's connected to that somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, I don't know why I did that.
Okay, so
because I disconnected.
Braundir, why'd you roll intimidation?
Oh,
because why not?
Because why not?
Who are you intimidating?
I look at the ocean and I give a growl to let.
Get ready for me.
Yeah.
And then I run off to the ocean and no one sees me.
Okay.
Or not the ocean. Like.
You're next.
So, Cella, with an investigation of 7, or Arcana of 7, I should say, you can vaguely sense that there was some underlying magic, like within the corruption, or perhaps added on, perhaps, that made that guy react in that way.
Okay.
You have a vague suspicion that it was designed for this.
Okay. She calls out to the retreating guards. Try to keep them safe, but don't give them any healing potions.
No. No healing. Got it. We'll see what we can do for these poor bastards.
Send them back to Lorson and let them know what's happening out here.
Certainly. He will hear word of this for sure.
No, not hear word. He needs to see them in person.
Of course.
Oh, Braundir.
And with that, so other guards come and pick up this guy. At this point, they've kind of retreated away. What do you guys want to do?
Well, that was weird.
As I said before, I think we all need to be prepared for a fate worse than death if we fail in this quest.
We need to prepare better for water attacks in general.
Yeah.
It seemed that psychic and force damage were most effective, don't you think? Slashing damage didn't seem to do much.
We need to try to get some enchantments on our weapons, maybe.
That would be helpful.
Well, I seem to know someone who can do that. So before we, I guess, do the real thing, maybe we should reassess.
Not a bad call. Do you know someone that enchants weapons then?
Well, I assumed some of my friends would be here, but maybe we can visit the mages, and it seemed like the mages here will be able to assist us.
Anything electric, anything enchanted in general, I guess, is what we need.
I believe we will have a certain level of credits that will be allotted to us that I believe will be quite useful.
That's good.
That will be good.
Because I have 3 gold.
Yeah, right.
I have the whole time.
I'm sure if they knew that the town was at stake, they would actually care, and we would be able to receive, I would assume, a lump sum of items.
Well, but very soon, they're going to be completely aware of what's at stake.
Well,
And
if
you
we're
just
going,
uphill to the sea spawn, trudging uphill.
yeah. If we're going back, then I'd like to see to it that Lorson I want to be in the room when he sees these sea spawns.
Well, that actually sounds like quite a fun experience.
He might have seen like something like this already.
Well, we'll know.
Did you see his face? Did you see his face when I brought up the lake? He seemed quite embarrassed.
Maybe those dwarves are still there. If so, we can send word back to Cathris and get more, at least more awareness on what's going on in other parts of the world, not just in the Orc realms.
So as you guys are speaking about this and talking about this, you hear thunder up ahead and lightning courses through the sky, and the rain picks up.
We'd better make it quick, whatever it is that we're going to do on the surface. I think things will only continue to get worse the longer we wait.
Well, how far are we from Aldrin?
Probably about 30 or 40 minutes. Not very far.
Okay.
So we're going back.
I guess we could
Yes,
bring these guys back.
We could follow these people.
Yeah, we're bring C-Spawn back.
What'd you say, Brett?
I said bring those guys back.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Cella sets off to follow them.
Let me... I wish I had a map of Alderaan. I need to make one. So... You guys return back to Alderaan. Oh, and Zach is disconnected.
Yep.
Oh, nice. He's like, okay, here we go.
Alright. Perfect. Okay, here he comes.
Hello.
He's back.
Hey, you're back.
Y'all were the ones that left.
Oh! Is
Yeah.
that how it is? Okay. So, you guys return back to Alderaan, and as you guys are going past the walls and the guards, there's just people who are horrified at what they're seeing. And for many of them, this is probably the first time they've sighted this kind of thing before. But yes, you do make it back,
Buddy.
back to House Alderaan itself. And there are some mages that are waiting at the entrance. They look over these guys and say, What happened to them?"
Some sea monster, something out there, something that nobody's telling us, apparently. We're hoping to get answers.
Oh, this is awful. And he's clearly trying to detect magic off of these guys. Says, they're just... This is a bizarre combination of magics I haven't really seen before. It's enchantments, it's conjuration,
It's corrupted. The druids.
necrotic magic.
The druids in the temple below Fannis Lake have done this.
Incredible. I've never seen anything like this before.
They're being influenced by a force outside of the normal, outside of anything that used to exist in this world.
Yes. Well, we need to take them and see what we can do for them.
We need to take them to Lord Lawson right now.
Very well.
Braundir's just gonna like take one by the scruff and just walk directly to his chambers and not really wait for an escort.
Okay.
How long did it take between the healing potion and the him changing?
It took like less than a minute.
Okay.
It was a very rapid transformation. It did not take any time.
Suppose we could turn one in front of him. Leave it in the room with him to deal with.
Right.
God, wow, that's brutal.
Well,
Okay.
if he doesn't want to help.
So, Braundir, you take this poor sea spawn up the stairs with you, and it's saying, please help. Oh.
We're getting you help.
Cella, did you roll Arcana?
At what point? Oh, that was all before. That was all when we were trying to determine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. I thought I saw movement over there. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys gonna follow Braundir up?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I am at least.
you take.
I'm definitely there.
So, Braundir, you entered the audience, the Lord's chamber, the audience chamber, and it's Luvan who's sitting there, kind of tidying up and cleaning up. He's the only one in there right now, and so for the first time, well, Braundir, you only known him for a little while, but Gerbo, I assume you follow. So, for the first time in a long time, Gerbo, you actually see him express real shock at what Braundir is dragging up to him.
Right.
Braundir, you have anything to say?
Where is Lorson? Where is Lorson? Get your words together. We have business.
I will get him right away. Right away. And he goes up the stairs.
I follow him. I'm not waiting on him to come down.
Get it. I like this salty Braundir.
Jeez. All right. So you follow Luvan up the stairs. You enter, and going down a small hallway with a few other doors, a couple of doors on the left and the right. There's a door at the end of the hallway that he's going towards, and he notices you're still behind him, and he just kind of looks a bit shocked still, and just knocks rapidly, raps on the door, and says, "Lord Larson, Lawson, you."
I kick in the door.
Okay, you kick in the door, and Lorson is sitting at his desk, and it appears as though he's poring over notes whenever you barge in. And he says, "What is the meaning of this?" What?
Yeah, show him the swan. Is this what you call preparing? Lorson, this is one of your men. There were 4 that came out, and there's been reports of them for the past week. What are you doing about this?
He just kind of stares at the sea spawn for a second. Says, we have been investigating, but only actively for the past few days. At first, we dismissed the rumors we were hearing about the lake. Thought of it as nothing more than tall tales from fishermen. Then we noticed the fish were turning. Some were sprouting tentacles, others had extra mouths, extra heads. And then the men went missing. This is what became of them.
This is it. Look at it.
He's not.
What are you doing about it?
Not enough.
Lorson, we need you to give us the resources to finish this. We need to go down to the bottom of the lake, and we need your help. If you're not going to help us, we're going to put this on display and tag your name on the front of it. How would you like your subjects to see this?
Intimidate,
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, that is sweet intimidation. Are you still in barbaric rage?
No, it's been more than a minute, I think.
It's been more than... that's why I asked how long it took to get back.
He's just in normal rage.
He's just a normal rage.
Baseline.
That's intelligence save.
Oh, you just did an intelligence save.
I can't read for crap, y'all. INT is intimidation. There we go.
Oh.
You should have just done an intelligence save.
I'm gonna say you have advantage given the circumstances.
Yeah.
Because this is pretty. Yeah. There you go.
My teeth are starting to show. I feel like I'm on the edge of rage where my hair starts growing thicker and my teeth are showing.
Right. Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Well, I mean, he is a bear. He's a totem warrior or whatever.
Yeah. So when I go into rage, I take on bear traits.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he does have bear teeth, and yeah, so he's a little. He's even more hairy than a normal dwarf. At times. Barbarian. Yeah, there it is.
Barbaric rage.
There it is. So Lorson takes a few steps away from you. He says, "Very well. You will have all the resources I can muster. To get to the lake, to get to the temple, you would have to get to the center of the lake. We can provide you a ship.
We need more than one ship. You know very well that there's a monster out there that's been taking your ships down to the bottom of the lake.
Then you will have our fleet. Though it is not much. It is several ships. A dozen strong.
Getting to the middle of the lake will be a good start, but once we're there, it's going to take much more to actually overcome the powers that are driving these corruptions. We'll have to get to the bottom of the lake. We'll need your best mages with us as well.
Very well.
By the way, Gerbo is still in the audience room, sitting like at the in the chair that
Are you waiting on Lorson?
Yeah, I'm waiting on him to come back or
See you sitting in his chair?
Yeah, I'm just waiting there.
Okay.
Because there's still a couple of them in the audience chamber.
Well, yeah. Well, actually, I would say the others are probably taken to an infirmary. First thing.
That could be true.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably first priority number one. Let's make sure they're not gonna fucking die.
That's true.
It's just Braundir's influence that got that guy here.
I'm using one as a prop, honestly. So.
Yeah, you kind of are.
Yeah, it's a little dehumanizing.
It's all good. I'm just sitting in the audience chamber then,
Okay.
Which is all good. That's my
feet kicked up on the table.
Yeah.
Hands.
Yeah.
And
true Gerbo.
Obviously, Talia is gonna eventually appear and see you, Gerbo.
I like
but
it.
We'll leave that for now. Anyway, Lorson says, you will have our best mages. You will have all of our ships. I do not know what else could really be of a benefit to you here.
We need
what
some
about enchantments?
Yeah.
What?
I fist bump Ephelien.
You want your weapons. You want them improved. You want them enchanted, sharpened.
We have to kill.
Whatever has to.
We have to kill water elementals with weapons, so we're gonna need some help.
Yes, of course, of course.
Okay, so what are we waiting on?
You can come to go to our mages, and they will be able to enchant your weaponry, to at least be able to allow them to deal more damage to elementals. There are many powerful creatures that only are resistant to normal weapons and attacks. So by doing this, it'll give you full benefits. We will also outfit you with potions and other equipment you may desire.
Perhaps the mages could enlighten me about which spells will be more effective, or teach me ones that would be more effective, as I don't really wield traditional weapons.
Very well. I'll see what they can do.
Okay.
I like this guy more than Beastbane.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
She says it out loud.
She says it out loud!
Yeah.
And I say, that's not saying much. Lorson, I appreciate your help, but let's not take kindly on the fact that this has been neglected for too long.
You are right. House Eladrin has been negligent of not just the Water Temple, but, well, the other druidic circles in the area.
I suggest this is amended in the future.
Indeed it shall. And at that point, the storm picks up again, and the wind is blowing very strongly.
We shouldn't waste any more time. Where can we find your mages?
They have their own quarters. I suspect you will find them gathered in the infirmary if there are more that are like him, pointing to the sea.
Let's get this poor guy to a wizard that can remove curse. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Cella's gonna try to help support the sea spawn out of the room and get towards the mage's quarters.
Okay.
Braundir's gonna walk up to Lorison and be like, I appreciate your help, but let's not pretend like we're friends here. We need to get in and out and move on to the next portal.
Lorison kind of is looking down at you. He's looking away from you. Like, he's breaking eye contact at this point, looking down on the floor. I think at this point, it's almost like he's just looking down in shame or not really wanting to acknowledge quite what's happening. He says, I'm aware. You have other places to be. All right. You will have my full cooperation, assistance, resources, everything except for my land and my title.
I don't need or want any of that. I could have more than you if I wanted. And I'm gonna walk away.
Salty Braundir.
So at this point, I think that's probably where I'm gonna have to end it, because there's gonna be things I need to prep now.
Gotcha.
Based upon what's happened now.
Mm-hmm.
The camera slowly pans away and like into
the storm.
into the audience chamber where Gerbo is sitting on the like throne, and it's just like it like slowly pans like away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes out the window, and then you see like the
storm.
So earlier I did a perception check during when they were in the chambers with the other dwarf emissaries.
I
the emissaries recognized me.
Yeah.
Emissaries recognized me as Cathrus's son, and I did a perception to see if Lorison figured out that I was Cathrus's son that time. Or if he would have known.
I don't think he's put that together yet. I don't think he would be like, he is generally like vaguely familiar with the clan council and the dwarves and how they're run, but he's not really like okay. So he would know of Braundir, but I don't know if he would necessarily know what you look like.
Yeah.
Fair.
I think I'd say he's heard of. I think word is spreading fairly rapidly of, the heroic deeds, or the crazy, dark situation that occurred in Durin and was narrowly avoided.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
If there's one thing that our group is good at, it's convincing people that we're important.
Yeah, for real.
No kidding.
Because we have a folk hero and an actual noble in our mix.
Yes. Well, I mean, you're becoming a mover and a shaker now. Like, you're starting to be able to throw your weight around and.
Well, that's kind of why I wanted to say that last statement was just like, I could have more than this if I wanted, and that's kind of reference back to Durin.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's good.
Flex on him. Go ahead.
I like it.
Go ahead, flex on him a little bit.
Yeah.
Good
yes.
something, guys?
No, that's fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, thanks, bro.
Yeah. That one felt like it went by really fast to me.
Yeah, that was very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Braundir needs to get his great axe enchanted, and Ephelien has a couple of weapons that need to be enchanted.
Yeah,
Well,
I guess Gerbo has the the gearhead weapon, but
Yeah.
I guess that counts as magical.
Right.
Yeah, and my crossbow is +1.
Yes.
So
that means it deals. I think is it plus to hit and damage? Is that right?
Yeah, I think the gearhead weapon is +1 also, but it also has that other ability on it.
Yeah, it's also got the other ability with it where it can. I think if it's a 19 or
whenever you roll a crit with this weapon, make another attack with it immediately.
That's right. So it has a chance to load up 2 bolts instead of 1 on a crit. So when you do crit it,
whenever you crit fail, you make an attack with it against yourself.
Right, because it's backfiring.
So it's chaotic, which is great. I mean, like,
it's fantastic.
I'm totally all for a chaotic weapon. Yeah,
but no, the second I found that eel art.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you were like, this has to happen.
I know what to do now.
Like, this is it.
So bad. Yeah, that was good. That was yes, it's the voice. Thank you for giving me nightmares tonight. Thank you for creating the voice of my nightmares. Yep.
Deep calls to deep.
Yeah.
So cool.
So creepy. But now say something like very cute and benign in that voice.
Mary had a little lamb.
No.
It's worse. It's even worse.
Too much Stephen King. Come on.
Right.
The Dark Mind.
The worst. Someone take it away from him. Oh my gosh.
Sing happy birthday in my voice.
That's like Kylo Ren voice.
Yeah, it's very Kylo Ren.
I will finish what you started.
Yeah, literally Kylo Ren. Could you guys do next Thursday?
Well,
thanks.
Let me.
Maybe not.
I changed off that. Well, Thursday.
That's your other campaign, right?
Oh.
Right. Well, I think there's going to have to be some shuffling around, probably, because I think Brett's spinning up another campaign.
Well, it's like trying to restart my other one. We decided it was too long of a wait, so we're going to try to play online.
Yeah.
Nice.
And actually, we're going to play Pathfinder.
Oh, nice!
Cool.
I haven't played that version of it.
So Pathfinder is what? So originally, D&D there was 3.5, and they changed the 4th edition, and 4th edition was basically universally hated.
Right.
So people broke off for 3.5, and they created a different system called Pathfinder.
I thought that's what we were playing now.
No, we're doing 5.
This is 5th edition.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought 5e was Pathfinder.
Nope.
Okay.
So Pathfinder has recently come out with a 2nd edition for their own, and that's what we're going to use for this for Brett's upcoming campaign. Is a Pathfinder 2nd edition.
The first Pathfinder is exactly like 3.5, but the new one's actually its own thing.
Right, it's its own system now. It's got a lot of really cool ideas behind it. Some mechanics are way more clunky than they are in 5th edition, but it definitely has its good points too.
Interesting. Cool. Well, as much time off as I am given this month, my schedule is kind of erratic, and I will have a stretch of nights soon, so it may get kind of tough to schedule.
Okay, so the thing is, so for Brett's campaign, like this Pathfinder campaign, he wants to start up. Thursday's looking like the time he can start it, but Thursday's already get dedicated to the Badlands campaign, so I'm gonna have to reschedule the Badlands campaign. So
it's sometimes Thursdays.
I mean, I think it falls on Thursdays. It's fallen on Sundays too.
Yeah, Wednesdays.
Wednesdays as well.
I think at first it was Wednesdays, but yeah, normally Monday and Tuesday are open.
Monday and Tuesdays are usually good for us. And on the weekend, we can do that too.
Mondays and Tuesdays are generally good for me too.
Monday is Memorial Day. Zach, are you doing any? I don't know if you're doing anything for Memorial Day with band stuff.
Yeah, well, I did have drill, but it's been canceled. I don't have drill with the Army until August. I will have my 2-week annual training in July, but we're just going to Camp Robinson, and it's going to be really consolidated. But yeah, no, I'm free Memorial Day.
I am on.
I might be in Pocahontas, which would be fun.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I don't know. I might be in Pocahontas as well.
That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys can do if you think you can run a session without, but I'm gonna be on call Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. Yeah, I don't think Gareth was looking at the calendar. Unfortunately, I'm on call.
We'll need to figure it out.
Sunday, I should be done by like 2 or 3 o'clock.
The 24th.
Yeah, but I know Sundays can be important. So
Sunday, maybe we could swing us potentially. It depends on when the Badlands falls, I guess.
Well, with me being with my parents.
Yeah, probably be hard to do.
Yeah, and since I haven't seen them in person since like 3 months ago.
No, that's super.
Yeah.
All right, Mom and Dad, I'm gonna go to the basement.
See ya.
Dragons. I haven't seen it in a while. Later.
Well, good to see you. Good pep talk. It was a great 5 minutes.
Hang out with my wife.
Yeah.
I feel you, and I'm gonna be asking for the same like time with my mom and dad when they're here next weekend. It may honestly be a little bit, guys, because I'm on call like Memorial Day times 3 days, and then my family's in town, and then I go to my week of nights, the week of the 31st. Okay. So it looks like
nights.
So I can just tell the easiest thing might be for me to just like list off the days that look like I could do an evening session from now on, which would be Friday the 22nd, Saturday the 23rd, Sunday the 24th, Thursday the 28th, and that's going to be it until the week of June 7th.
So Friday the 22nd, Saturday the 23rd, Sunday the 24th, and what else?
And Thursday the 28th. Realistically, I'm on call or have family in town or am nocturnal every other day.
Until November.
Until November. Oh.
Until June 7th.
Until June 7th.
There you go. It's a little better.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about Friday or Saturday?
Yeah. We could probably swing Friday or Saturday.
Zach, when did you say you were going to Pocahontas?
Yeah, I'll be up there.
You need to spend time with your family.
Yeah, I want to. I feel like it'd be a really weird vibe with my parents.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So
I mean, it's fine. We've done
really well.
We might be able to do Thursday.
We could do that Thursday next week.
Because it sounds like the Badlands game's probably not going to play on Thursday this week. It's probably going to end up being on Sunday. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe we can switch.
The 28th.
Swap around schedules, but maybe the 28th can work.
I'm sorry, guys. Okay. This month is really strange.
Oh, you're fine.
No, it's fine. I mean, I'm really thankful for the stretch we've had, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
Because I wasn't even sure we were going to get that much, so.
I know. I literally was like, kill Nahid, because I thought I'd never get to play D&D again.
That's funny. But it gave you an opportunity to play something new.
Yeah, no, Cella's
so much fun. Y'all, I love this campaign so much.
Me too. It's been really fun. I look forward to it so much.
Brett, are you still streaming?
Yeah, you want to turn it off?
Oh, I don't know. I was just curious.
I mean, we haven't.
I just love it. But it's been really good.
How many? I'm curious, actually, how many views have we gotten on our channel?
I clicked on it once, so that's one view.
I'm not sure how it calculates views.
I've been in like 5 games since the quarantine started. This is one of my favorite ones, so.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
It's just. I feel like you guys give breathing room for your characters. That's nice. Like, you actually take the time and kind of characterize and roleplay a bit more than the other group does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's a super
so
fun. That's a very fun aspect of it for me.
Yes.
And what I like about it is like doing something and just be like waiting and see like, okay, what's about to happen. You know,
right? Like I bet you didn't expect that to happen when you gave that potion to that guy.
No. I do feel like this is more of a sit and wait narrative. Like where how we're playing is like I wait to be directed by you, Drew, in a lot of things. Be like, okay, and now you go into this room, like, and I don't know if that's good or bad. That's just kind of that's like sometimes I feel like I sit back too much and wait to be told what to do. But
well,
I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of a balance because it's weird because I'm waiting on what you guys do. It feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's kind of strange.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a blend because it's like, you know, like you have a plan, but also like our characters act and react within that, and so it's like, you know, we are acting out how we like within a framework, but also you have the framework, and so we're doing stuff and then kind of trying to then like manipulate and fit it within generally kind of what I assume you're trying to guide us towards.
Yeah.
And it never goes according to plan.
No, it never does.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I didn't quite expect you guys to hammer as much on Lorson as you did. Just like how I didn't expect you to just fucking destroy Beastbane, basically.
We have an authority problem in this group.
That's our thing.
Yeah.
You have a fantastic way of, like Brett said, you guys are really good at convincing people you're important.
Yep. Oh, it's been so fun, guys. When I realize that it's like a couple days before our session, I get really excited. I get very excited. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, hey, so just I'm about to have to go get signed out on the patients I'm going to have tomorrow, but just let us know if Thursday the 28th works for everybody, and we'll go ahead and put it on our calendar and keep it open. So.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. That probably will work. We'll keep you guys posted on that.
Yay.
Yeah, just let us know. Let us know. So good to see you.
Another great campaign.
Yeah, thanks, Drew.
Yes, it was good to see you guys.
Good.
Zach, take care. Brett, take care. Solid job.
Chat
you guys.
See you guys later.
See you guys.